Hey there, YouTube. It's Fragments of Memory, aka your friendly neighborhood armchair philosopher. Just dropping another vid, and real quick, I'm prejudiced. And I've talked about prejudice before, and I've talked about how we all are prejudiced on some level. My prejudice is if I see another black man, but he's got a gold tooth, and he's got tattoos, I still have that built-in prejudice where I'll go, he's a nefarious character. He's a low-down degenerate, just a lowlife, a scumbag. Now, that isn't always true, because I've met many men with gold teeth and tattoos that are good people, that are good, salt of the earth, real, genuine people. But I can remember growing up as a young man, and that type of guy was the type of guy that made fun of me for being square, cornball, and lame, as I talked about in another video. So them brothers made fun of me and attacked my blackness. So therefore, well, they'll be like, oh, you're not really black enough. So therefore, when I see that, it triggers those memories. And I'll admit that I have those prejudices. And I think it takes a certain amount of humility. Not that I'm trying to say I'm humble by any means in the imagination, but I think it takes a lot of humility to admit you got some prejudices. Because I think we live in a world where if you say, I have this prejudice or this bias or this opinion, that opinion is, if that opinion does not fit with popular sentiment, it must be silenced, it must be quelled, it must be put down. And I think I was watching a video the other day. I know I'm jumping around, but I was watching a video the other day, and it was a British man, and he was going on this tangent about how people are complaining about the victory of now President-elect Donald J. Trump. And one of the things he said was, we're living in a society where people want to be protected from being offended. And instead of just having a conversation and agreeing and then disagreeing and trying to have a debate and try to convince the other person the soundness of your argument, we want to, he said the left had avoided that argument, that ability to have a decent argument. An argument is not just yelling and screaming. An argument is, hey, I have a difference of opinion, and here I am constructing the premise that I have or the opinion that I have. Here's what supports it. Here's what I've seen or read or observed, or this is what I can point to. The evidence I can point to support my opinion. And that's sort of what I was getting at. So, and then he says we try to quell the opinions we don't like, or we try to write someone off as sexist, racist, whatever. Now, do I believe sexism and racism are very real? Yes. But do I believe that sometimes those terms are used to sort of stifle opposition or to crush an opinion that isn't as popular with the masses? Sure. Hell yes. So what I'm going to say is this. I have my prejudices. I'm just committed to trying to recognize the prejudices that I have. But yes, one of them is if I see a guy with tattoos and a gold tooth in his mouth, I have a very negative opinion of that individual. That prejudice is in me. Therefore, I have to oftentimes work around that prejudice. I don't think that prejudice ever leaves. I always quote the great Edward R. Murrow, the radio broadcaster and then television reporter, who said, we are all prisoners of our own experiences. We cannot eliminate our prejudices, merely recognize them. So I'm at the position where I recognize my prejudice. So that's just something that I'm working towards and working on. Hopefully I'm doing pretty good at that. So anyway, tell me what you think about prejudices, and do you have any of your own? And would you like to share them in the comments section or make a video about it? I'm all ears. Peace.